There's a tree that can stop your heart. There's another one that can burn your skin if you stand under in the rain. And there's one so innocent looking, children have mistaken its seeds for candy. The terrifying part? Some of these trees are not hidden deep in a jungle. They're planted along streets, in gardens, beside schools, and yes, sometimes in local parks. Now, before we start, this video is not telling you to panic every time you see a tree. Most trees are completely harmless if you simply admire them and leave them alone. But nature has a dark side, and today we're counting down 10 deadly trees that might be growing closer to you than you think. By the end, you may never look at a peaceful park walk the same way again. Number 10. Horse chestnut, the conker tree. At first glance, the horse chestnut looks almost friendly. In spring, it produces beautiful white or pink flower clusters. In autumn, it drops shiny brown seeds inside spiky green shells. In some places, kids even collect them for games. But here's the problem. Those shiny seeds are not edible chestnuts. They're horse chestnuts, often called conkers, and eating them can make you very sick. The tree contains a toxin called esculin, and raw parts of the tree are considered poisonous. The seeds, bark, leaves, and flowers can all cause symptoms if eaten. For humans, poisoning often causes stomach pain, vomiting, weakness, or confusion. For pets, especially dogs that chew random things in parks, they can be dangerous too. And that's what makes this tree tricky. It doesn't look like a villain. It looks like something you'd pick up, polish on your sleeve, and put in your pocket. But nature doesn't label everything clearly. Sometimes the warning sign is just a shiny brown seed lying on the path. Number 9. Black locust, the beautiful imposter. The black locust tree can be stunning. It has hanging clusters of white flowers, delicate leaves, in a shape that makes it popular in parks and streets. But hidden in the bark, seeds, and leaves are toxic compounds that can affect both humans and animals. The most dangerous parts are usually the bark and seeds. If eaten, black locust poisoning can cause nausea, weakness, depression, stomach pain, and in serious cases, nervous system problems. And here's the creepy part. A child might not eat a leaf, but a child might peel bark off a tree. A dog might chew a fallen branch. A horse or grazing animal might nibble on young shoots. That's why black locust is one of those trees people often don't think about until something goes wrong. It blends in, it flowers beautifully, it gives shade, and it waits for someone to make the mistake of assuming that beautiful means safe. Number 8. Wild cherry, deadliest after a storm. This one sounds strange, because cherries are food, right? Cherry pies, cherry jam, cherry soda. So how could a cherry tree be deadly? The answer is in the leaves. Wild cherry trees, especially black cherry, can become dangerous when their leaves are damaged, wilted, or stressed. After a storm breaks branches, those wilting leaves can release compounds that turn into cyanide. Yes, cyanide. For humans walking through a park, this usually isn't a major risk unless someone eats the leaves or seeds. But for livestock and some animals, wilted cherry leaves can be deadly. Imagine a branch falls after heavy wind. The leaves start to wilt. They smell slightly sweet. An animal eats them. That innocent fallen branch can become a poison trap. And that's what makes wild cherry so unsettling. The tree isn't always dangerous in the same way. It becomes most dangerous when it looks broken, fallen, and harmless. A storm doesn't just knock branches down. Sometimes it activates the danger. Number 7. Laburnum, the golden chain tree. Laburnum is one of the prettiest trees on this list. In bloom, it hangs with long golden flowers, almost like yellow waterfalls. That beauty is exactly why people plant it. But the nickname golden chain tree hides a darker truth. Every part of laburnum is poisonous, especially the seed pods. Those pods can look like peas or beans, and that is the danger. A child sees a tree covered in golden flowers. Later, they find little pods hanging from it. They look natural, harmless, maybe even edible. But laburnum contains a toxic alkaloid called cytisine. Eating the seeds can cause vomiting, drowsiness, convulsions, coma, and in serious cases, death. It is the kind of tree that proves one of nature's cruelest tricks. The more beautiful something is, the more likely we are to trust it. Laburnum doesn't need thorns. It doesn't need a foul smell. It hides behind beauty, and sometimes that is the most dangerous disguise of all. Number 6, oleander, the pretty killer. Oleander is one of the most dangerous ornamental plants in the world, and yet it is planted everywhere in warm climates. Roadsides, parks, gardens, hotel landscapes. It has glossy green leaves and beautiful flowers that can be pink, white, red, or yellow. But every part of oleander is poisonous. Leaves, stems, flowers, sap, even dried plant material. Oleander contains cardiac glycosides, chemicals that can interfere with the heart. That means ingesting it can cause vomiting, dizziness, irregular heartbeat, and potentially fatal heart problems. There are even warnings about burning oleander because the smoke can be toxic. And here's what makes oleander especially disturbing. It doesn't take much. A curious child, a pet, or someone using a branch as a skewer or stirring stick could be putting themselves in serious danger. Oleander is not rare. It is not hidden. It is often planted on purpose because it is drought-tolerant, colorful, and low maintenance, which means one of the deadliest trees or shrubs near you might not be growing in the wild. It might be decorating the sidewalk. Number 5, yew, the tree that can stop a heart. The yew tree looks ancient, peaceful, and almost sacred. It's often found in old churchyards, cemeteries, parks, and formal gardens. Its dark green needles stay green all year. Its red berry-like fruits look bright and tempting. But the yew is one of the most poisonous trees you may ever encounter. Most parts of the tree contain toxins, toxic compounds that can affect the heart. The needles, the bark, the seeds, all dangerous if eaten. The red fleshy part around the seed is often described as less toxic, but that does not make the fruit safe, because the seed inside is poisonous. And the scariest thing about yew poisoning is how quickly it can become serious. Symptoms can include dizziness, stomach upset, breathing problems, irregular heartbeat, collapse, and sudden death. This tree has been connected with poison for centuries. But you don't need to be in an ancient legend to find it. You might walk past one beside a path without ever noticing. That is the nightmare of the yew tree. It doesn't look deadly. It looks like landscaping. Number 4, chinaberry, the bead tree. The chinaberry tree can look charming. It produces clusters of small yellowish berries that may stay on the branches after the leaves fall. In some places, the hard seeds have been used like beads, but those berries are toxic. Children may be drawn to them because they look like little fruits. Pets may eat them from the ground, and in enough quantity, they can cause serious poisoning. Symptoms may include vomiting, diarrhea, weakness, confusion, seizures, or breathing problems. The danger is not just that the tree is toxic. It's that its fruit looks like something nature wants you to notice. Bright berries on a tree are like little advertisements. To birds, they may be food. To humans and pets, they may be a mistake. And with trees like chinaberry, that mistake can become dangerous very quickly. Number 3, castor bean tree, the source of ricin. The castor bean plant is often grown as an ornamental because it looks dramatic. Huge leaves, striking seed pods, a tropical look. In warm climates, it can grow almost like a small tree. But inside its seeds is one of the most infamous natural poisons on Earth, ricin. Ricin is extremely toxic. The danger is highest when the seeds are chewed or crushed, because that can release the toxin. A whole seed may pass through the body without causing the same level of harm, but relying on that would be incredibly dangerous. For children and pets, castor bean seeds are especially risky because they can look interesting, patterned, and collectible. And that's what makes this plant so frightening. It doesn't need to chase you. It doesn't need claws. It just waits for curiosity to do the work. One seed in the wrong mouth can become a medical emergency. So if you ever see castor bean plants in a public space, the safest rule is simple. Look, don't touch, don't collect, don't experiment. Number 2, sandbox tree, the exploding tree. This tree sounds like something from a cartoon, but it is very real. The sandbox tree is sometimes called the dynamite tree. Why? Because its seed capsules can explode. When ripe, the capsules burst open with a loud crack, launching seeds at high speed. Imagine walking under a tree and hearing something snap above you, only for seeds to shoot out like tiny natural bullets. But that's not the only danger. The sandbox tree also has poisonous sap, and its trunk is covered in sharp spikes. So this tree basically has three warning systems. Spikes on the trunk, toxic sap, exploding seed pods. It grows mainly in tropical regions, so it may not be in every neighborhood park. But in the right climate or botanical setting, it's unforgettable. This is one of those trees that feels like evolution got tired of being subtle. Some trees defend themselves with bitter leaves. The sandbox tree went with armor, poison, and projectiles. Number 1. Manchineel, the tree of death. And now we arrive at the tree, so dangerous that in some places it is marked with red paint or warning signs. The manchineel tree. It grows in parts of Florida, the Caribbean, Central America, and northern South America, often near beaches and coastal areas. From a distance, it can look harmless. Glossy leaves, greenish fruit, a pleasant shape, but almost every part of the manchineel is dangerous. Its sap can cause severe skin irritation and blistering. Its fruit looks like a small apple, but eating it can cause intense burning, swelling, and potentially life-threatening reactions. And one of the most infamous warnings about this tree is this: do not stand under it when it rains. Rainwater can carry the toxic sap from the leaves and branches down onto your skin. Even burning the wood can be dangerous because the smoke may irritate the eyes and lungs. This is why manchineel has earned nicknames like Little Apple of Death and Tree of Death. But here's the strange twist. The manchineel is not evil. It plays a role in coastal ecosystems. It helps prevent erosion. It provides habitat. It is dangerous to us because we're not meant to touch it, eat it, shelter under it, or burn it. And maybe that's the lesson of this entire list. Nature is not safe or unsafe. Nature simply is. The danger begins when we assume everything beautiful is harmless. So the next time you walk through your local park, look around. That peaceful path might be lined with trees that have defended themselves for millions of years. Some use poison. Some use spikes. Some use seeds that look like food. And some are so dangerous that even standing beneath them can be a mistake. But the point isn't to fear trees. The point is to respect them. Never eat unknown seeds, berries, leaves, or fruit from a park. Keep pets from chewing fallen branches or strange pods. And if a child may have eaten part of a toxic plant, call poison control or emergency services immediately. Because the scariest tree in your park is not always the biggest one. It might be the prettiest. It might be the one covered in flowers. It might be the one dropping shiny seeds at your feet. And now that you know what to look for, you may start noticing them everywhere.